Peace, peace, peace. Flex and repeat and you say New York City. Express and repeat and you say worldwide. We are the vibe. Stay high. So today's expression and subject is, excuse me, I just got hit by a car. Got a little scratch right there. Today's expression is patience and silence. Patience and silence. You know, often, and I know that many of us have found ourselves in these places with people, we'll find that people will express themselves on what you should do instead of just listening and hearing what you did do so you can hear it. Most of the time, the information that we need is available within us. In fact, all of the time, the information that we need is available within us. To the point where if we just have the right things in our environment, everything will reveal itself. We'll start to see our errors and correct those errors because process is important. Let that pass. Process is important with everything. Let me say it again, process is important with everything. So when someone is in reflection of their actions, they're in the process of gaining wisdom and understanding on how to be improved in action furthermore. And the wise, I often say, are silent. The wise often are silent because they're in observation of the knowledgeable that are informing themselves to become wise. It's very difficult for us to concept because we're humans and we have this entitlement of expression that we are all living a similar experience but entirely different. And that how we process and go through things, everything, even ourselves, is very specific. And that once we are in our 360 degrees of understanding self, our frequency is on point, we're in tune, in harmony, then we'll be able to produce the most fragrant, the most frequent, the highest frequency. And the only way we get to those points, to those levels, is by having people, places, and things allow us to climb to those points with them at witness. And I want to express that the dynamic of friendship for this code of 360 frequency, the friendship that you would be giving, ideally, the friendship that you want to receive, is being patient, being silent. Often people have the answers within. Give them some time, because then it'll reveal for you and what you thought you knew. Because sometimes you see we're expressing things about our lives to others that might need to hear it so that their lives can expand. I'll say it again. I might be going through something and express it to a brother or sister, but it's not just for me to gain understanding and wisdom. Oftentimes, because people have gone through things, they believe that they have wisdom in something, but they still haven't learned the lesson. So then you haven't really gained wisdom. And sometimes you have to hear it from someone that you love and embody it and just sit with the thought while the person is speaking until the gems reveal themselves. I want to thank the Most High, our harmony, our collective of greater thoughts that's available for us, that puts us in the state of joy. I was speaking to my brother today, and it was the level of joy and being in a place of peace that you could be happy, right? Joy, joyful. And you'll find these things that if you're happy in every place, if you're joyful in every place, you're truly peaceful. But the flip side is, if you find peace in one thing, you will find the joy in that thing. So you have to find the measures of peace, if true, in proximity for you with the things that are around you. Ashe. And that's great wisdom. It's funny because after that, you know, the reason my inspiration for thought is we had a falling out in conversation And in my understanding and stance, let's let him pass. So in my understanding, from my stance and perspective, something was said, I was contrary to that, and before I can just be contrary and throw another philosophy out there, it was shot down. And then furthermore, something ignorant had happened where it was like, hey, I just need some space to be. That's why I brought this up, is sometimes our friends need to just be there, silent. And if something is truly necessary to be said out of care and love, it doesn't have to be said immediately. Because if there's care and love, it's timeless. That means that there's always opportunity to say it. The thing is, we have to find the right way to say it so that we're not hurting the ones we love, because that's a real thing. And we are human beings, and these things that we're doing right now, this language I'm speaking, is a vibration, and vibrations are hitting your mind, and you're coming up with these ideas and understandings, right? So shouldn't we speak with tact when we're approaching our loved ones, when we're approaching the world, even the unknown? How about that? That part. That you don't need to have this predetermined response to things that you believe are what you don't know until you are engaged. So what I'm saying is to stay present. If you're listening more than you're speaking, then you're really giving more. Believe in it. Because the more thought that you put into your response, the greater the effect. If you say something off of impulse, you say something without taking a breath, without taking the deep breaths inside, it's going to lead you into a space of impulse, into a space of back and forth, because now you're tossing a ball back and forth to try to level out what that was. But if you take a deep thought and you wait a second and you've thought about it, that thought could be timeless. You could say that thought 20 minutes from now. Oh, by the way, getting back to the subject, and then it expands the mind, because relationships are a muscle. We're energy, and we're flexing back and forth. Great forces, mother and child, father and son, husband and wife coming together. These things are a realistic thing that are pulling and pushing on and against each other. And it's finding its harmony so long as we float in the water. Don't resist, just give. And forgive, because you have to understand, when you put something out there and you don't have full understanding because you didn't think about it, but you put it out there because you felt it, that's going to give back something. And that give back is whatever it's going to be, and you'll come to understand that when you're giving back in a love space, that shit is timeless. So it vibrates, boom, 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 and it keeps on vibrating, keeps on waking and rising. And I mean wake as in the water. Although when you say something out of impulse, you splash the water, it's acid in the face. It's a bad taste in the mouth. And I have been that person that has done it, and I have been the person who's received it. And both ways cause a reaction to the splash. When you're floating and flowing in the water, there's so much opportunity. Think about that. Sit in that thought. Be the dope you want to smoke. You're the master of your own time and space and the embodiment of infinite possibilities. I love you very, very, very much, baby. Take care of yourselves. And you say New York City flex. I know y'all want that. Peace.